guys, and welcome to the Princess Eternity Talk Show, episode 4. I am your host, Eternity, and today we are doing a new segment called Late Night Laughs with Eternity, okay? So basically, this segment is going to focus on storytelling, from funny stories to scaries to different experiences, my own personal story times, and even confessionals. I really think this will be just a fun segment where I would like to do this as a collaborative segment into the future once I build the community on here. But for now, we're going to be basically using the internet to find these juicy tidbit stories because we all have very different and insane lives, and I always love to hear about other people's stories and experiences and reacting and giving my 2 cents. I mean, the whole point is to give your 2 cents. So basically, in this segment, we are going to be diving in to reading some of people's first date horror stories. Okay, I have had my fair share of, pretty awful dates. I wouldn't say anything extremely crazy. I have been very blessed, but definitely some off-putting characters, okay? There's the whole sphere of online dating. I mean, I have my opinions on online dating. I actually was thinking about doing something more related to Hinge, so that will definitely be for the future. I think all of us can agree, men and women alike, that modern day dating is complete garbage, okay? It seems like the lover boys and lover girls are not finding one another, okay? People that want genuine connection, genuine relationships are ended up meeting the most evil and vile people. It doesn't make any sense. It's just spooky out there. Like, it's really spooky. And it's definitely turned me off personally from dating. We have a struggle being very intimate and close with people, so there needs to be a very deep reason as to why I'm going to go on a date with someone. I'm someone who sees relationships as an addition to my life and not something that I don't revolve my entire life around it. So if you aren't going to be adding on to my life, that means you're going to be removing from my life, okay? And I don't want that. So basically, I thought it would be nice to read some first date horror stories because I don't know, they make me just feel better, especially since I am celibate and I am choosing not to date. I mean, you can obviously download an app, but you're kind of meeting the bottom of the barrel. Like, you're meeting the bottom feeders of the fucking ocean, okay? You're not meeting the good, high quality fish. No, you're meeting the monsters and the piranhas and the eels of the sea, okay? So honestly, again, online dating is just a whole mess within itself. And I definitely think that also, the political climate definitely has an influence on modern dating. I think specifically Gen Z women and Gen Z men are completely different. Like, we are growing up in two different worlds. Personally, for me, I don't think that dating should be complicated, in my opinion. I think if you like someone and they like you, easy peasy, you know what I'm saying? And I think that if you want a genuine relationship, no shade, no lie, you're not going to find it online. Sure, there are some random stories out there, but personally for me, I feel like when you are putting yourself online to date and online dating, it just kind of feels like you're lowering your value and it's kind of like giving desperate, and that's not the vibe that we're trying to give. Okay, we're not desperate for a relationship. Yeah, I just have a lot of opinions on it just because I think, again, as someone who values romantic relationships and think that they are important, but they're not worth risking your mental health and your life and your sanity for it. Okay, especially as a woman, like, you need to be extra particular, extra picky, having standards. I don't care if your standards sound unrealistic or impossible, the bigger the better, in my opinion, because you are disadvantaged when it comes to dating in a patriarchal society, and that you cannot be fair, you cannot, play by the rules, okay? It's kind of like people are just afraid to show up as who they are authentically, or they put up this facade that this is how they present themselves when that's not who they are. And like I said, yeah, dating is just difficult in a sense of, like, if I'm going to meet someone and I'm going to flirt, I would rather do it in real life. Like, if I was going to date someone, I would rather do it in real life versus behind a screen, because you can't tell anything from behind a screen. No one seems to match your freak. No one seems to match your wavelength. And it just makes it difficult to find people that you resonate with. So it is multiple, but that is kind of like a brief little summary of my opinions on dating. Before we get started into the show, into the segment, make sure you guys follow me on TikTok. It is the only one that I am actively on at the moment, where I'm posting my content. I'll put it right here. I post singing and dancing, reacting, commentary. So make sure you guys check that out. I also have a Substack where I post short stories on a weekly basis. So make sure you check that out. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So basically, I am going to be going onto the internet and diving deep into finding people's first date horror stories and seeing if there's some kind of correlation, some kind of like, pattern that I'm recognizing when it comes to dating as a whole. Again, I'm very interested in anything that has to do with human behavior and psychology, socio-political, cultural things, and dating definitely plays a big role in that because it influences how humans mate and reproduce and how evolution continues. Okay, just kind of like looking into the stories and kind of seeing like, what's the tea? What's up? What are the girlies going through? What are the boys going through? Okay, so first story, someone said he took it out. What do you mean he took it out? What did he take out? And I don't mean this in a funny, unexpected, Seinfeld way kind of way. I mean, he leaned across the table and whispered, "I'm out." And I said, "Excuse me." For some reason, my first thought was out of the closet. He said, "Out, under the table, look under the table." And like an idiot, I looked. Then he said, "That's what you do to me." And I said, "This is what you do to me," and I left. I'm a people pleaser, so to this day, I'm proud of myself for walking away in the middle of the dinner, period. Because you are not going to sit through that dinner when a man literally indecently decided to pull out his fucking penis like it's a God's gift to earth and everybody needs to see it. Like, that is mental illness. Oh my goodness, so glad. And especially saying that she's a people pleaser. And, usually people pleasers, like, example, like if you were going on a date and someone was doing something that you didn't really like, chances are you probably would maybe tolerate it or accept it or maybe just kind of like bite your tongue. But the fact that she stood up and said, "I'm out," is exactly what's needed. Like, what is wrong with you in your synapses? Like, what's not clicking where you think it's appropriate for you to do that? That's disgusting. There's not even need to justify that. That guy was a critter, some deformed creature from the bottom depths of hell itself. And you unfortunately went on a date with him. Thank goodness that you got up and stood up. And women should do that more often. If a man is doing something, especially on the first date, you don't owe anybody anything, okay? He doesn't know you. You don't know him. You have every right to say, "You know what? This isn't not working out," and dip in the first chance you get. So kudos to her. Very proud of you, strange woman on the internet. You did that. Okay, so next we got another story. So the next one is, I picked her up and she asked me if we could stop by her mom's house so she could run in and grab something. I said sure, made the stop. She went inside. 5 minutes later, she comes out hustling towards the car with the car seat and her mom chasing after her, yelling. She opens the car door and throws the car seat, which now I see she has a baby in it, and starts yelling at me to drive. The fuck? I freaked and just turned my car off and took the keys out of the ignition. Her mom called the cops and they came and questioned all of us for a good while. Turns out she had lost custody due to drug use and was trying to use me as a way to get her kids back. We never made it to dinner. I mean, no shit, you didn't make it to dinner. I mean, the guy told me he would still be together with his kid's mom if she had apologized for what she did wrong. Uh-oh, we're already starting bad. As soon as a guy goes and blames the mother of his kids for something, I usually give a little bit of a side eye. It's like the same reaction as like when a man says his ex is crazy. A lot of times I always think, what did you do? I'm not thinking about her. I'm thinking about you. What did you do? Because women don't go crazy for no fucking reason. She must have been pushed over the edge. Out of curiosity, I asked, what she did wrong? Was expecting something like she cheated, something that actually needed apologizing for. Fair. Nope, apparently she kept nagging one day and wouldn't shut up, so he tied her to a computer chair and went out for 3 hours and left her there. I said it doesn't sound like she was the one who needed to apologize and left. Good. Okay, Like, that sounds abusive. And the nagging, women don't nag, okay? That is a very annoying stereotype that I'm gonna nip in the bud right now. A lot of men act like fucking children and have zero emotional intelligence. And when it comes off as nagging, she's basically tired and annoyed that she has to remind you to do basic human stuff, like do the dishes or put out the garbage when clearly the dishes are full or the garbage is starting to smell like funk and the entire apartment is stinking. And instead of using your brain and saying, let me take out the garbage, no, I'm just gonna keep adding more and more food, more and more dishes. I bet that's what it was. She was asking him to do stuff that, a grown ass adult should do, and she got tired and she said, I'm not your mom, okay? You're a grown ass man, you should know. And if you don't know, well then boo hoo, you're on your fucking own, okay? And again, love this. Leave, okay? Do not stay. If you feel in your gut that something is off and there is nothing this person can do or convince you that they're not a fucking weirdo, you need to leave. So I'm just glad that whoever this was, you got out of it. You saw that red flag and you said, absolutely not. That is disgusting behavior. We don't tolerate that. Adios. Okay, so the next story, he tried to control the date, what I dress ate, if I wore makeup or not, how I wore my hair. He had this long list. Let's just say I answered the door with my bedhead and baggy PJs. Told him to buy a blow-up doll to control, don't contact me again, and close the door. Yeah! Love that. Simple and straight to the point. I mean, again, the fact that he doesn't know you, and he's trying to control you, trying to tell you what to do, that is going to continue and prevail and continue into the relationship. It's not romantic when a man is being controlling. I understand women saying they want a man to, take the lead and, you don't have to tell them what to do and they can make decisions, yada, yada, yada. But controlling, telling you, like, what to wear, how to dress and everything, that's not it. That's not cute and that's not acceptable, okay? You guys are grown-ass people. No one can control you. The fact that he made a list, it's giving this energy of he thinks that women are like a fucking Build-A-Bear where you can just pick whatever you want and just make your own perfect woman. And like you said, get a blown-up doll. If you don't want someone to have an opinion, you don't want someone to be human and to have complexities and to dress and act the way that they want to act and be themselves, clearly you don't like women, get a blown-up doll and call it a day. Bye. There's no excuses. Like, get the fuck out of here. Went on a date with the woman from the office. Oof. When I hear anything about coworkers, I already know it's about to go down. I'd never done that just because I don't think I would, like, even if I did find someone at the workplace cute, because of the environment that we live in, basically working, there would never be a line where I would feel compelled to cross it because I'm just like, we're at work. Like, I see you all the time. Why would I want to see you more? No. We had good chemistry and got along, okay? Already, no. Okay, people at work, we fake our personalities. I fake my personality. You probably fake your personality. And you know what? That's fine. You don't need to be your genuine, authentic self at work. If you want to Clark Kent it up, do that, okay? So if you assume that she was, cool and everything, again, you don't know how she is outside of work. You don't know what she do. She couldn't find her phone, so I tried calling it, and someone from the restaurant answered. I went back in for her to get it, and the waiter showed me. I was saved in her contacts under free food. Oh! I mean, I know there's a lot of women who, they go on dating apps and they hook up with these guys or they talk to these guys simply for free food. I mean, I wouldn't save the contact name under free food. You know what I'm saying? Maybe have like a code name. Maybe like put like a French fry emoji next to him so food. The food dude. Oops. The food dude. But referring to someone as free food, it's giving transactional. And again, whoever's doing it on both sides, it's wrong. I get that. No, not even that I get. Like, again, if you establish that the relationship is transactional, that is completely different. But when the other person is not aware of the transactional piece of the relationship, they think that everything's cool, we're dating, whatever, but you're just using them for free food. That's not okay. Especially if they're a nice person. If they're an asshole, I mean, I don't know if he's an asshole. He's the one telling the story. But anyway. So we got another story. Nothing obvious or overt, but from the minute we sat down to eat, the hair on the back of my neck stood up and I felt unsafe. Okay? And Bingo was his name. And when I'm telling you, your body does not lie. Your body does not lie. I've had this happen many times where my body literally told me that this person was not safe before, even if they looked nice or whatever. When you, especially as a woman, like that instinct will save your life. Like, it's no joke. You cannot ignore that. You cannot overlook that. And if you don't know how to trust your gut and you don't know how to trust yourself, I do not suggest dating, because you need your instincts. You need to rely on that gut, like that little feeling, because it's going to save you and it's going to help you. So she mentioned he was polite, listened, very polished, but could not shake that feeling. I drove to the restaurant to meet, so he did not know where I lived. Smart. After dinner, he asked for another date, and I just said, no, I don't think we're a good match. Gave him money to pay for my half, said goodbye, and got to the door, turned around, and he was staring at me with an expression I hope to never see again. I ran to my car, moved it to another spot, and waited until he left before I left so he could not follow. Smart again. Restaurant was an isolated road, so that was safer than having him catch up to me. Found out about a year later, he was sent to prison for assault and rape of 2 different women. It happened on first dates, never used a dating site again. Well, there you go. A lot of predators and sexual offenders also use dating apps to harm women, and this is very common. It's not just like a one and done. Like, this is a very common situation where the fact that these dangerous men have access to all sorts of women, young women especially, because a lot of young women use dating apps, and being able to cause irreparable harm. And I mean, thank goodness that he was sent to prison, but look at what your body did. Your body told you that it was not safe. This person is not trustworthy. I remember having a similar situation, but for me, it wasn't a gut feeling. It was my nose. My nose told me. And this happened on 2 specific dates, where one of them, it was a first date, and another one, it was a second date. 2 different guys, and their fucking scent threw me off. And it wasn't like them, they smelled bad. It was their pheromones. And that's when I knew that they were not the right person for me. Because if you can't stand the way someone smells, like, why would you date them? Just saying, you're going to be around them all the time. Think about these little things. If you can't stand the way they smell, the way they talk, stuff like that, things that they cannot control, I'm telling you, it's literally just like your body's way of saying, we're not biologically compatible, therefore we are not compatible, because that piece matters. And her body fucking saved her. Her gut instinct saved her. Like I said, he asked me how big my baby was and if I birthed him vaginally or had a C-section. His explanation was that he never slept with a mom before and had heard a baby can stretch a vagina out. I excused myself to the bathroom and promptly left the restaurant. Again, more misogynistic rhetoric, not understanding anything about the female body or understanding anything about birth, and myths and lies about the human vagina. If you don't understand anything about the gender that you are trying to sleep with, okay, that you're trying to mate with and be with, and you don't understand their reproductive system and all that stuff, and also just him asking questions about how it was birthed, like, it's giving entitled, it's giving disgusting, it's giving predatorial. Like, good job, you left. There's nothing good about that. I remember I had a guy who told me he wanted to get me pregnant on the first date. I couldn't leave because I was in the car, but I was definitely very thrown off and threatened, because that's not a compliment. Like, what do you think pregnancy is? Like, it's just some kind of like beautiful la fairy tale experience that all women want to go through? Hell no. And it was just, again, like, it's such a huge red flag when a guy says he wants to get you pregnant. It's not a compliment. He just wants to own your body and say, yeah, I got her pregnant. It has not even anything to do with that baby itself. Honestly, anything that men have to say when it comes to babies and all, it goes in one ear and out the other, because their perception of it is like, somebody on TikTok was saying it's like a little kid wanting to have a puppy. That little kid doesn't know the responsibilities of having a puppy, of taking care of a puppy. They just think puppies are cute and they're adorable and they give you lots of love and affection. That's how men see children. Bye. Okay. Went to dinner with a girl who I've been crushing on for quite some time. It seemed to be going well, and we ended up going back to her place watching a movie. Out of nowhere, her boyfriend, whom I was not aware of, came back from town and stopped in unexpectedly. Yikes! Why was she on a date with you? Or was she looking for a side dude? He and I had a super awkward conversation for a few minutes. Then the two of them disappeared into another room for a minute or two. She came back and said something of the effects of, "I don't have a place for you, I'm sorry." I just kind of got in my car and drove home. It's one of the strangest feelings that I ever had. At some point, a few minutes in the journey, I couldn't contain myself and bursted out laughing. Well, at least you were able to laugh about it. I mean, honestly, like a lot of us, when it comes to first dates, you don't have to look for commitment right away. You know what I'm saying? Hold off on the commitment. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be, it's not supposed to feel stressful. It's supposed to be a lighthearted experience. And, if you were able to laugh, even if the date did not end up well, then it kind of just shows your character. It shows that you're just someone who doesn't take life too seriously. And you know what? You're going to find someone who enjoys that kind of spirit, So, yeah, I mean, she had a boyfriend. Like, girl, what are you doing? Okay, if you were looking for a side piece, at least let it be known. I wonder what the conversation was about, even. Like, was the boyfriend in on it? Like, was he looking for a third and he sent his girlfriend out on a mission to be like, hey, go find us a third? Like, I don't know how people live. Met a girl at a friend's party. We were both in our mid-20s, ended up spending 3 hours talking, and she was so funny, charming, gorgeous, and carefree. I asked her out and got a wonderful "I would love to" from her. Oh, off to a great start, isn't it? I show up about 4 days later at the restaurant she picked, one within walking distance of her place. She arrived about 5 minutes later. "Nice place," I say as I get her a chair for her. "Since it's so close to you," he her off. She scowls and responds, "You ask too many fucking questions." Ooh. Girl, I was floored. Everything continued downhill from there. Within 20 minutes, she got up and left. I felt as if she had failed to tell me the other night that she had an evil twin, and that's who showed up this evening. Later, when I ran into my buddy, I asked what the heck was up. "Oh yeah, she's a piece of work until you get a few drinks in her. Then she's adorable." Thanks a lot, buddy. Okay, but that's a whole flip of a personality. I mean, again, we're just going based off of the story. We don't have all the details, but what happened? Does she have an evil twin? Maybe she has two different personalities. We don't fucking know. But maybe she was overstimulated. I mean, again, I'm just reading off of what's being said here, but like, damn, that's the whole point of a date, is asking questions. It's gonna feel a little interrogative because you don't know each other that well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I asked about his hobbies and he said, "I played the bagpipes." I thought that was really cool and asked him to tell me more. He said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yes." He proceeds to go on about bagpipes for the rest of the night. How he felt playing the bagpipes was his calling in life, how he needed to carry his grandfather's legacy, how his dream was to play bagpipes for the queen. Oh my god, I can't say bagpipes anymore. Every topic somehow turned to the bagpipe. I understand if someone maybe has something that they're maybe a little bit obsessed over, like it can be annoying to hear about it all the time. But yeah, compared to the other ones that I've heard, this one's pretty harmless. It's more of like a peculiar ick. Nothing wrong with having the ick. We all get the ick. I've gotten the ick from like the smallest things as well. Like, it just happens. I think it's one thing to get the ick if you're in a long-term relationship versus like getting the ick when you're just meeting someone. It can really kind of make or break because it's really up about personal preference and what you're willing to tolerate and what I'm willing to tolerate. And yeah, she's not willing to tolerate listening to a man go on and on and on about bagpipes. And you know what? I don't blame her. Okay. This is coming from someone who gets hyperfixations a lot, and I do tend to get obsessed with certain things and switch it up every once in a while. But I don't really obsessively talk about it. I'm kind of more of like my behavior, my actions will speak for itself. So he had his bio and it said 6'9". 6'9". Really? That's already a red flag, okay? We're already starting to do a little squinting and investigation if he says over 6'1", because we know that men are notoriously known for lying about their heights. So for you to use 6'9", yeah, I don't think so. I don't believe it. I need to see it. Not a picture. I need to see it in real life, because ain't no way. First thing he said when he pulled up, so I'm actually 6 feet and the 9 inches is somewhere else. Like, first thing, before asking how my day was anything. So was he 6'9" or was he not? Oh, so he's saying 6 feet. Oh, and the 9 inches are, okay, now I get it. No sex jokes, okay? Men, nobody wants to hear fucking sex jokes, especially when you don't know each other. Like, that's fucking weird. Okay, sure, some people are not bothered by it, but I would not take that chance and say a sex joke, because it just, women already think that men, all they care about is sex. So when you say a sex joke, it kind of just brings that back to the forefront. It's like, he was super pushy about having a third drink and got mad when I refused. I totally see why lots of people are replying saying he probably drugged my drink, but I do not think that was the case, as I never left either of my 2 beers unattended, and he had been pestering me to order a third beer, which is what I refused. I am fairly sure he was trying to get enough drinks into me to lower my inhibitions. Yep, not to drug me himself. But regardless, his behavior was inappropriate and a huge flag. The fact that he got angry when I refused to drink more was the reddest flag. And there we go. Okay, that's why also I would not recommend any kind of drinking dates for the first couple of dates, because again, when you're drunk, your inhibitions are lowered. And I obviously absolutely agreed that when a man is trying to pressure you to drink, that again, he could have drugged it, but also again, it's just to lower your inhibitions. I have been in that situation as well. And especially for me, I'm not really a big drinker. I only drink if I'm like going out partying and there's a reason for me to be drunk. Even then, it's very rare. I mean, I'm a heavyweight, so I don't get drunk that very easily, which is also a benefit for me, because if I was gonna have one drink, I wouldn't even feel buzzed. It would be like water to me. I would not feel a thing. You know, that's the blessing and also a curse about being heavyweight. It has its downsides for sure. But yeah, I definitely agree that she made the right choice. Like, you are smart, you know when to cut that limit off, when you know, okay, I'm gonna cross the line. And she said she had 2 beers and she was like, no. And again, red flag, when a man is not willing to respect your boundaries, or he's trying to force you to do something to make you more easy, again, drinking, then definitely red flag. And I'm glad that she, stuck her guns and said, no, ma'am. I hope you never saw him again, because if he's not going to respect your boundaries day one, I'm telling you, he's going to keep on breaking those boundaries every single chance that he gets. Tried to force a kiss. Okay, that was number 1 point. Okay, already red flag. Being in that position as a woman is so uncomfortable when a man is making it very clear that he wants to kiss you, and he either is going to forcefully do it or he's going to make you uncomfortable. Like, it is just such a disturbing experience. Like, just men constantly invading women's spaces and making themselves entitled. He tried to get me to agree to marry him the next week. No, he wasn't an immigrant, so not for a green card. But yeah, like the energy of like a man who wants to quickly get married to you, it's giving desperate. Like, I've had that happen where like a man would like bring up like marriage and kids in the first date. I don't necessarily think that's a red flag, but the way that he was going about it was giving red flag, because it's like, we don't know each other that well. And, like, it's a first date. Like, it's not even guaranteed that we're going to see each other again. Marriage and kids is the least of my concerns, my love, He said women were stupid and would believe anything he told them. Like, although on one point I can say, yes, there are a lot of women who are bird brain and will like to hear whatever they want to hear. But it's also insulting, like, you as a man just assuming that you can manipulate any woman and say whatever you want and she's going to believe you. Like, you're not that clever, you're not that smart, not that intelligent. And based off of everything I'm already seeing just from the first couple sentences, you ain't getting away with nothing. Okay, you're not some kind of mastermind genius. He said it was okay to drown puppies. That's a red flag for sure. Like, a man just explicitly admitting that he wants to harm any animal. I don't care what the animal is. I don't care if this is the most dangerous animal on the planet or some baby little animals like puppies, the most innocent looking creatures on the earth, one of the most innocent looking vulnerable creatures on the earth, and you think it's okay to drown them. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Ted Bundy. Thank you. He swore that it was possible to get AIDS if you were straight. Found out a week later that he knew the whole time he was HIV positive. There you go. Do you know how many men have secretly, like, they have some kind of STD, whether it is AIDS or just anything else, and they don't have a problem spreading that shit around? Like, it is scary out there. I told y'all, it's spooky. You gotta do so many things just to protect yourself, especially as a woman. Like, thinking about that, like, having to get tested, making sure that, like, you can, keep your sanity and know that you're safe, but then also knowing if this person that you are about to mate with is also safe. You can't just be bumping and grinding with any person, even like kissing. Okay, I remember, like, you would kiss a guy in the club and then for some reason you wake up the next day and you have a fucking sore throat. Like, I had a sore throat. I'm like, what is going on? Like, what is your immune system? Like, why do I get a sore throat when I'm kissing you? Like, that's not okay. Like, what's going on? When it comes to dating specifically, if I could give one advice to men, when it comes to anything sexual and you do not know the woman, you let her do the initiating, okay? She should be the one that sets the tone because she is the one that needs to feel emotionally safe before she spreads her legs to you. And you can't fake that. Sometimes it takes the first date, sometimes it takes a couple dates, and sometimes it takes a long time. It depends on who you're dating. Okay, it's not a one size fits all. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any of your own horror dating stories, or if you know anybody that does. I kind of shared some of mine. I think that I would probably say my worst date was when I was like pretty young. Okay. So again, when you're young, you kind of just see dating as like a whatever. You just do it because you just do it. And it was literally a fucking Wendy's, okay? And I arrived there first. This person is like, I think 20 minutes late. And I already ordered my food because I was like, I'm hungry. I should have left, but I didn't. And honestly, like, him even showing up did not make it any better because not only was he late, but his personality was complete trash. I was bored the whole time. He was trying to convince me to go back to his place to Netflix and drink wine. I'm like, you clearly just want to sleep with me. And then had the audacity to say, like, oh, like, I'm trying to be your boyfriend, this, that, and the third. And basically saying, like, I was basically telling him, like, I don't know you, so that's not going to happen, okay? And then basically spent the entire date interrogating me to kind of make it seem like he was trying to get to know me, but in reality, he just wanted to, again, create this fake sense of safety so that way I felt like I knew him. And then he would be like, yeah, like, you know me, like, I told you this, I told you my favorite color. I don't give a fuck about your favorite color. What's your childhood drama? Okay, what are your parents like? What do you believe in? That's what I want to know. I don't give a fuck about your favorite color being red. I really don't. It's not important to me. What's important to me is your character, and your character, you can't hide that. And it was very evident. I was so uncomfortable the whole date. Again, I've just had like very uncomfortable dates where I feel like I can never really be myself. And again, I'm someone who, like, when it comes to dating, like, I prefer fun dates, especially like the beginning, because it kind of gives me a sense of like how I'm acting. And on the flip side, are they able to be themselves around me? Are they able to be their authentic selves? I think that, if they aren't able to do that, and if they're acting very like nonchalant, or they're just unable to kind of let go, they're just very much self-centered and very much like insecure, where they're just always constantly like trying to perform, that's also someone you don't want to be around, because a relationship is not about performing. It's about two authentic, whole individuals coming together to support one another, love one another, and be there for one another, and have fun and enjoy and experience romance in abundance, okay? Does that sound difficult? Does that sound difficult? I don't think it does, but apparently it is, because when you want to actually experience romantic relationships and love, oh my God, dating is a nightmare. And I feel really bad for all of the fellow lover girls and lover boys out there. Like, it is hard. But you know what? Don't give up hope. I know it sounds ridiculous. I'm not someone, even a misandrist myself, like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell people like don't date or don't do this or do that. Like, it's very normal to have romantic desires and to want to find a partner. You know, life is hard and we need partnership, we need connections. But I would also suggest that, you know, if you are seeking partnerships, that you also put that time in investing in communities and in friendships and in other forms of relationships, because a relationship itself is not the only thing. And like I said, I'm not here to shame women or men for wanting and desiring partnerships, but I know it's tough out here, and we are going to make it through this dating recession. We are going to make it through on the other side, okay? The lover boys and lover girls will prevail and they will thrive, okay? So anyways, that is it for today. Let me know again of any of your dating stories. They could be horror stories, they could even be funny stories, you know, funny dating stories. I love that too. So that is it for episode 4 of the Princess Eternity Talk Show here on Late Night Laughs, okay? And I'll see you guys in the next episode.